Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City, and this is the Hollywood Squared Circle, where we talk about wrestling episodes of non-wrestling shows. And today, for the third time, we are talking about Boy Meets World, Season 7, Episode 2, entitled For Love and Apartments. For those of you who don't know, I've already covered Boy Meets World 2 previous times, so I'm not going to explain it again. But it's Season 7, the final season, so they're in college, so it's all the normal main cast, plus newer regulars like Maitland Ward as Rachel and Matthew Lawrence as Jack. Of course, the previous two Boy Meets World wrestling episodes were years ago, entitled The Thriller in Phila and 16 Candles and 400-Pound Men. They both featured Vader as Frankie Stechino's father, but this episode does not reference him at all. In fact, there's only one actual wrestler in this episode, a young fellow named Mick Foley, who you may recognize as sometimes doing longer stand-up after I do stand-up. Anyway, here's what happens. First of all, this plot doesn't have anything to do with Corey or Sean. They're off trying to get Topanga's parents back together or some shit. Plot has to do with Rachel kicking Jack and Eric out of the apartment they lived in and replacing them with Angela and Topanga. Jack and Eric try to live in a dorm, but they're like, you know what? Fuck this. We're moving back in. So they storm back into the apartment, and they want to move back in, but the girls don't want them there, so it turns into this huge argument, until Topanga finally says there's only one way to settle this. Tag team steel cage match to the death. Well, first of all, that would be a death match. Also, this tag team steel cage match has no ring and no steel cage. They just move furniture and want to wrestle in the living room. Custom style. And Jack and Eric are like, you can't have a wrestling match without a referee, and we have no referee, so we're not having a match. All of a sudden, the front door is kicked down, and it's Mankind standing there in his schlubby ref outfit, and he goes, "Where am I?" There is zero explanation as to how he got there or how he was even contacted, and no one bothers to fill him in at all. Nevertheless, he is your official for this evening. And if it's not bad enough that it's 3-on-2, Mankind tells the boys that there will be no hitting above the belt, which is a weird thing to say. And then he explains the rules by kneeing Eric in the stomach, choking him, and then body slamming Eric onto the couch, which looks surprisingly stiff. And then the rest of the match is really just the girls banging the guys' heads off of shit and dumping food on them. Until Mankind gets bored, and he knees Eric again, and then he throws him through the banister, which is really just destroying the apartment at this point and should have everybody mad at Mick Foley. And then Rachel gets Eric in a camel clutch, and Eric taps. Good psychology. So the girls win, the boys have to stay out of the apartment, and Mankind still doesn't know where he is. And that's the match, and that's the episode. Until the swerve credit scene, which somehow sees Mankind now living with Jack and Eric in the girls' apartment. Mankind is lying on the bed looking at a Backstreet Boys poster and says that the cute one is staring at him. He doesn't specifically say which one, but my money is on AJ. But Jack can't stop staring at Mankind because he has, and I quote, leather straps on his face. So Mankind gives Jack Mr. Sacco, and then Eric stops it and he's like, "Mankind, you're a bully and I'm gonna stand up to you." And then Mankind says, "Do you want to go through the wall or do you want to fly through the air?" And then Eric is like, air please. So Mankind lifts him up, freeze frame, and that's the end. Does he slam him? Does he tickle him? We will never know. So that was the third wrestling episode of Boy Meets World. This has been the Hollywood Squared Circle, and I've completely wasted your time.
Guests of the RJ City Show, subscribe to his channel, follow him on social media, and buy his t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/RJ City.